Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Star Wars: The Twilight Nights. I'm John. I'm your game master, and I got my lower back adjusted by a chiropractor earlier today, so I'm feeling great. Joining me today is Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm playing Crack Tolpa, the Quarren artisan and Soresu defender. And let's see what I do for Destiny.
One dark side.
One dark side. My standard.
Jeremy.
Back on his bullshit.
Hi, my name is Jeremy. I am playing Ilyana, evil person.
Ilyana, evil person, my favorite.
And hey, look, another dark side.
Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Vazia, Pureblood Sith, Geo, Berserker, and two light side.
Nice.
Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Josh Ulan, the Chiss Sorcerer Defender Protector, and two dark side.
William.
Feeling a little aggro.
I am William, and I am playing Corsarath, the Sith Pureblood Makashi duelist, and I have two light side.
Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I am playing Red, the Mira Luca pilot, and one light side.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Nerese, droid, consular, and medic. One dark side.
Hey, perfectly even 5-5. Now to mess it up. Is there anybody whose morality is at or below 20 or at or above 80?
John, why do you ask questions for which you already know the answer?
Because I like to hear the answers out loud.
Yes, I am above, or no, I'm below the threshold.
You below
I have
20.
a morality of 18.
And so is Jeremy. Both of you flip a light side of the dark side for me.
Flipped.
Anybody else? No? Everyone else is good? All right, well,
I was a good Quarren and got myself back to neutral.
All right.
I snarked my way out of the light side.
When last we left off, you all had just sort of stumbled ass backwards into capturing the extranet grid. An extranet node on Alderaan. You've just finished eliminating the last of the Imperial troopers that had taken the facility captive. You are all currently at various places outside the facility itself. The door is open, and you have an Imperial supply jeep that was used to bust through the gate, and are surrounded by a bunch of bodies in various states of disrepair.
Disrepair is a word that I would use for a corpse, yes.
Should we go before reinforcements show up?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
The entire purpose of this is going to be defeated if they get warning out.
Well, Crack, do your task quickly then.
Very good. Are we certain that there are no more inside?
Corsarath looks in
I'll
the door.
come to you.
There doesn't seem to be anybody else inside now.
Okay.
That does not appear to be.
Then I'd like to find the access.
Yeah. Stepping into the building, it's not a big building in the first place. This is mostly like a server room that is just isolated because it has to be at a certain altitude to maintain its connection to the network. So that it doesn't, so that signal doesn't get bounced, back and forth into mountain ranges and valleys, so that you can have a clear signal in areas. And they're very easy to get to. You didn't manage to blow it up, so all the computers are intact.
Yay! All right. I'll find the biggest one, the one that looks like the most likely access point.
Yep. You're gonna give me a computer's roll difficulty 2.
Sure thing. Do I have any bonuses from before, or were those?
You still have one bonus you haven't used yet. Like you've had a bonus that you have sort of stashed away for a one-time use.
Okay.
Or interfacing with this system specifically.
Sure. Let me see. Just a little. Bear with me just a second here.
I got no place to go.
Well, I'm sorry to hold everybody up. It's just. All right, there we go.
Oh,
I have a very important bowling game in 5 minutes.
I got some bad news.
So, with a success and advantage and triumph, what would you like to spend that triumph on?
Let's see. Will this enable me? Tell me what I can do with the success.
So with the success, you're in the system and you can shut off. You like with just a success, you can shut off the Imperial's access to the extranet, and basically return it to a neutral control as opposed to being controlled by the Empire.
Okay.
In this area.
And so that will still allow all the natives to have emergency communications and so on.
Yeah, like it won't remove Alderaanian control, or it won't remove Alderaanian access to the extranet. It removes Imperial control and oversight. So imagine, in this particular instance, imagine that you are in a nation where the government had direct access to monitoring and control of all of your internet activities. You've just removed their,
isn't it, John?
You've just removed their access to do that.
Okay.
In this sector of Alderaan.
All right. Could I spend the triumph then to make it so they don't realize it, or at least delay as long as possible?
Yeah. You could spend the triumph to mock up signals so that they think they still have monitoring access, but they're basically like only able to look at like a dummy feed basically for this area.
Okay. Then I think that's what I would like to do.
Yeah, somebody at Imperial headquarters is gonna be looking at man. Jeff keeps watching the same porn video over and over again.
Would it be possible to make
Calica?
Would it be possible to make it look like the rebels did it, or the Republic did it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Crack will turn to the others.
You could do one or the other. You can either make them not notice, or you can make it look like the Republic did it.
Yeah. So Crack will turn to the others and say, I've got even a bit more access than I had hoped. I can either delay them discovering that this happened, or I could make it appear that it was the work of the Republic forces.
I like option B. Turn the two sides against each other. Chaos
they're
ensues.
less likely to dig into it in ways that would be bad for us.
Jeremy,
we can exploit that.
Jeremy, they're already at war. You're turning two sides against each other that are already against each other.
They're giving them more reasons. Don't question my reasoning.
Was there not some... I was having a hard time hearing, but was there not some discussion of taking down more of the extranet, that having one access point we could affect a larger area?
I thought that was the purpose of coming here.
This is the larger area that you can affect.
Okay, but we couldn't affect like a bigger, because this is just one node. We couldn't affect like a bigger.
By yourselves where you were, you could have affected just a small section of this sector.
Okay.
Here you can affect this whole sector.
Okay. All right. I misunderstood.
That's fine.
It's been a little while, and it's weird modern/70s technology, so nobody knows quite what's going on.
The turning the Imperial gaze towards the Republic would derail any attempts to find it, to track down this effort to House Pantier, and so is likely our better option.
Very good. Then Crack will go ahead and put in some form of encoding that will make it look like it was the Republic's work.
You spoof up some code that very intentionally does not look like Republic code, in such a way that it will. Not even that. Like this is very clearly not Republican code, which to an Imperial asset will read like Republic code.
I feel like in practice, Crack just starts typing in, "I love the Republic," and one of the more espionage-oriented members of the group sort of leans over and taps him on the shoulder and says, "Maybe not so much."
We'll say Corserath, with his extensive background in Imperial intelligence, gives you some pointers.
Yeah. So, if you want this to look like a Republic agent, it needs to very specifically be code that is intentionally designed to not be Republic code. So you're going to want to mess with this, this, and this.
Wow, how devious!
Because if you just stamp "I love the Republic," they're going to know it's not the Republic.
Yeah, but okay.
Crack changes his changes his hacker handle from XX Coruscant FTWXX to something else.
Yeah.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So how long does that take overall?
It takes about 30 minutes.
Okay. That's not too bad.
It's a couple layers deep of reverse psychology.
Yeah.
While this is happening, can Josh be looking over the vehicle to see if this thing is going to get us back down the mountain, or whether we should just abandon it entirely?
Yeah,
because it did have a grenade blow up underneath it, at least.
No, it's mostly fine. Like,
okay,
the grenade did not do nearly enough damage to actually hurt it. Most of the damage it has suffered has been from you guys breaking windows.
Okay.
In order to mount an LMG on the hood.
How many levels of reverse psychology are you on, my dude?
5 or 6, my dude.
I will.
You are like a little baby.
Point out if I see investigations of the car happening. What are the odds if we show up in another unrecognized vehicle? Well, the Archon will just blow it up again.
Well, this one's
There's something to be said for being on brand.
Whatever.
Do we have comm frequencies at least at this point?
Yeah, like you can comm link the Archon.
Okay.
Also, this one is very much marked. It has a big Imperial logo on the side.
How did we get to this point specifically?
While Archon Pantier was reaching out to the other Archons to try to convene them into a location, he basically said, "If you guys need something to do, here's a list of options that you can try to help us out with."
Yeah, how did we like physically transit here?
Oh, you walked.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Nothing saying we couldn't just walk back.
Yeah, you could just walk back.
That would be an obvious option.
You could walk back. You could take the truck if you wanted to.
Right,
I feel like the broken windshield would kind of draw some attention and be like, maybe this isn't just an Imperial truck.
Get it fixed later.
Reg, you are injured?
What was in the back of this truck?
Electronics.
Components, right? Yeah.
Pantier might be able to use those components.
Electronics and supplies. So, like, food and things.
That is also a good point. Red, how are you feeling?
Alive?
That is not helpful, although it's accurate, and I appreciate that.
It's technically correct, which is the best kind of correct.
I wouldn't be itching to get into a fight right now, but I can manage.
Would you like us to try to help you?
If we're not slowing down other things we need to do, sure. I don't really care.
Well, here.
Well, Crack has spent 30 minutes doing something with computers. Come here. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I think you've already done a medicine check on Red. in this scene.
Yes, but I don't think I had done one for healing the critical injury.
No, it
right?
was just to heal wounds, yeah.
Yep. So I'd like to do that, I think.
Okay, I have 2 critical injuries.
Okay.
Both are currently not
Not
doing
currently in
anything
effect.
else.
Okay.
But
What
they're
are the
both diff
different?
2.
Are they the same difficulty?
Yeah, they're both diff 2.
Okay. I'll do one of them.
I'm still so sad that Corsorat didn't get his arm cut off by a deflected vibro knife.
Right?
Ping!
Tell me about it.
Okay. Yeah, if they're the same, I don't know. Whichever one you'd prefer.
Well, I think it's in order.
Yeah, so
so
the
it would
first
be
one
Okay.
first. Yeah.
But
Got it. Okay.
they're not materially different at this point.
Diff 2. Hey!
One success is all you needed. That first critical injury is gone.
Whoop.
Done. That.
And you heal a shit ton
Looking
of
back
strain.
at my skills and realizing that I actually have a skill specifically for enduring critical injuries that I forgot about last week.
Yeah. Is anyone else injured?
And
No.
while we're at it, Corsorath will go ahead and apply one of his stim packs to Red,
So,
which with my stim pack specialization talent will heal you for 6 rather than 5.
Okay. I am a lot less wounded now.
I am injured, Avazia will say.
All right.
I'll help you.
You're busy with a computer right now,
That's-
Crack.
That doesn't stop me from offering, although it may make it seem less genuine.
I am going to use balance first of all, because I keep forgetting that I have this,
Mm-hmm.
and roll my first rating and regain strain from it.
Okay.
Yay.
How much strain does that regain you?
So literally all it says is you may roll her first rating in first dice. She regains additional strain equal to the number of force points gained from the 4th die.
So you regain 2
So I
strain.
regain 2. And then I will be like, I guess I'm kind of hurt.
All right.
If someone else has some stim packs that I can borrow, I have 1 stim pack left. If anyone
And I
has
have
some.
7.
Avazia
out of
will hand you
13.
a stim pack.
All right.
We're taking 7 wounds.
Okay. So this is for Avazia. What's your current wound threshold? Out of
What
are you over half?
Like what it's currently
What are you currently at and what's your max?
No, I'm my max is 17. I'm at 8 right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're under half.
That's an easy one.
Just barely under half, but you're under half.
Mhm.
Oh, he's under half?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
Then it's 2.
No, it's less than halfway wounded. Or is
Okay.
wait,
Got it.
are you counting your wounds up or down, Holly?
Up?
yeah, so
Yeah,
from
so,
0
yeah.
to
Less than halfway wounded.
Yeah,
Less than
yes.
half, so it's 1. Okay.
Mhm.
I just need to know for the difficulty of my
everyone
medicine check.
coordinate. Which direction are you counting your health?
So you heal 5 wounds and 6 strain. Because I'm really good at one thing. And then Ilyana, right?
Yes, I have taken 7 damage out of 13.
So
Okay.
you're just over half.
All right.
Yes.
Over
So
half.
difficulty 2.
Let's stop using
Thank you.
FFG's stupid ass
I know.
terminology that is confusing.
4 wounds,
I'm joking.
6 strain.
I only had 2 strain, so
There you go. You got extra.
Nice.
You feel really, really chill.
It's the,
I,
it's,
no,
it's the
that's
anesthetics.
not how strain works.
I don't know.
Get that good anesthesia going.
Yeah. I have some of the good anesthesia. It's no, I haven't used it yet. Still have it.
Since medical stuff is happening, Josh is just going to be loading weapons into the truck then.
Okay. There are 9. Hang on. Sorry, there are 8 blaster rifles or blaster carbines. Let me look at them to get the exact what they are. So there are 8 blaster rifles.
All right.
9 frag grenades. And 2
Not by crate.
and 2 light repeating blasters and 10 vibro knives. And
Not a crate. What's the point?
a variety of laminate armor that has been damaged beyond the inability to use at the moment.
Right.
Because
Yeah, that's
lightsabers.
he's just loading the weapons. We're gonna leave the armor scrap behind, I think.
Okay.
Speaking of looting, do any of them happen to have a backpack that's in usable condition?
If you want to flip a light side, yes.
Look, having my gun on me is going to be really useful. So yeah.
I mean, we've
Go
used
for it.
we've used light side points for much more frivolous.
It's
Yes.
true.
One of them has one of them is wearing actually a mil-spec backpack, which is in actually good enough condition to use. I will get you the information for that because it's a little bit better
Alright,
than a standard
so it's
backpack.
different from the backpack in the standard gear?
Yep. Hang on, let me grab that.
Slightly better.
For me.
Jeremy, for the strain that I was healing with those advantages, how many did you end up using? Any of them? 2? Okay, so I have 2. I'm using that to reduce my strain a little.
Probably a good idea.
What if I want to use more just so you can?
You can go for it.
Technically,
flip a light side point?
technically,
The backpack
Mara
also
is
has-
the one who determines how many advantages are spent. So
Can I flip another light side point? And the backpack also has like coordinates and all the security codes for Darth Fluxati's base.
no.
Okay, just checking.
Can I flip one and there's a tracking beacon in there that leads Dark Fluxati to our location when we're not ready?
Yes.
I'm playing my character, guys. I don't know what to say.
Do I have enough time with all of the healing I have done and the time that Crack is taking to do all the things with the computers to do healing trance? I commit
No.
1 force, and for every
No, not with the time that
Never
you
mind.
spent doing medical stuff.
cool. I'm good. That's it.
Hang on.
Okay, good news. My force power only goes up to difficulty of 1, so it doesn't actually matter.
Sorry, I'm still. This book doesn't have bookmarks, so I have to like flip through to find the thing that I'm looking for. And it's not in this book.
What are you
Oh wait,
looking
no,
for?
there it is. Found it.
Yeah, find it. Okay.
All right. So this is a military modular backpack frame. It increases it, so it has the following, and it has the following modifications attached to it. It has a specialized bodysuit that attaches to the module's cooling or heating system, removing 2 setback dice from your checks to resist extreme heat or cold. It has a portable power unit that can be used to recharge a depleted piece of equipment as an action, or a droid or larger piece of machinery in 2 hours. Once per encounter, it can allow the wearer of the backpack to ignore the out of ammo result in the same manner as an extra reload. It has an oxygen unit, which means it can provide an additional 12 hours of oxygen when connected to a rebreather, breath mask, or environmentally sealed suit. And it has a storage unit, which increases your encumbrance by 3. Your encumbrance capacity by 3. It itself.
That will be enough.
So it has those 4 things on it.
Okay. I'm probably gonna need that
Yeah, I'll type it
you
out.
to send me those in writing because I wrote them down, but
Yes, you find this backpack.
Or Sarath, do we intend to return directly to the base once we've completed our tasks here?
Probably wise just to not be out in the open.
I've loaded the weapons into the vehicle. If we decide to bring those with us, they might benefit from additional armament.
Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.
All right.
I recommit my force die.
All right, so you once again suppressing your power.
Yep. Should we get going?
As soon as crack is done, we'll be departing.
Yeah, just let me know when we're all finished.
Yeah, no, you're done in 30 minutes, and you guys can start packing up and heading back. I'm assuming some dialogue will happen while I finish typing this thing up.
What did we get, Josh? Anything good?
Rifles, grenades, several knives, and those 2 larger firearms.
Oh, excellent.
Looking around, are there any gyroscopic stabilizers for the larger weapons?
They both have weapon slings. They don't have any gyroscopic stabilizers though. No.
Okay, all right. I assume who's riding in the back?
Where's
Josh.
everyone riding?
Probably in the back.
Right, there you go, Aaron. It's in the chat.
thanks.
Okay.
I mean, and how much space is there up front for people to sit? I'm assuming just for the 2.
3 people could squeeze, but 2 with space.
Yeah, so probably again, Neri's driving with Red on the light machine gun in case it's necessary, and then everybody else in the back.
Right. So you spin the truck around in the compound courtyard. It bumps over the bodies as you go.
Josh will put through a call to Archon Pantier if he can.
Hello?
Archon, we successfully disabled / neutralized the extranet node and are returning in a vehicle, which we commandeered from the Empire.
Good. We'll send out we'll send some folks out to keep an eye on it. That'll help us, at least in this sector, not be tracked by Imperial forces for a while.
Please ask
Bringing
him
back
not to
some
shoot
extra-
this one.
Yeah, he's aware. Bringing back some extra armament for
Probably let them know that
resistance
when
forces as well.
probably let them know that when the Empire recognizes it, they will likely see the code as Republic origin, just in case.
Apparently, Crack was able to mask his slicing as originating from the Republic side. So
Good work, everybody. See you when you get back.
excellent.
Quick.
They're going to be sending out some scouts for Overwatch. So this time, they should be able to see us coming and ID us as friendly before we get into range.
That sounds great.
Yes.
It was a couple.
Silence.
It was
Grinding down the mountain.
It was a couple hours walk. It's only about an hour's drive. Mostly because you're still driving down a mountain, which anybody who's ever driven down a mountain in real life knows it's a lot slower going than you think it would be.
But
Trying not to end up in a ditch.
You don't just put it in neutral and hope.
No, you don't.
It can be quick, but
you-
then it's a
Not ideal.
much more exciting ride.
Exciting,
crash.
terrifying.
Potato.
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 Anyways, you get back to the you don't see any scouts on your way down, but you get back to the cave uninhibited and pull the Imperial vehicle in through the hologram masking, and You have returned. Archon Pantir is standing over at the war table. The holograms that you had seen previously aren't there anymore, though he does seem to be reading something from a data pad. And several of the other Pantir-aligned guards and service members come over to help unload the truck and see if anybody needs things repaired or wounds looked after or anything.
Orsarath raises the back hatch of the truck. We come with a truck full of weapons and supplies.
They show vocal appreciation.
Assume we turn that over to the quartermaster or whoever is
like
filling that role.
People take it off your hands.
Cool.
As that's happening, Archon just raises a hand and gestures towards all of you. So, you go over.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Other people head in that direction. I will use context clues to follow.
As you get up there, he looks at the group of you. Good job, knights. I've gotten word back from a few of our Archons that are scattered about. We have rendezvous coordinates to meet up with them off-world. So we're going to need to get back to your ship wherever it's at and skip past the Imperial and Republic forces in the space. Do you have a good enough pilot to do that?
Look over at Red.
Points at Red.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Good. Well then, as soon as they unload that truck, we'll take it back, since we're heading into what I understand is Imperial territory.
We'll want to replace that front glass.
Yeah. He whistles something and just indicates with a hand, and one of the maintenance people gets to work on it. Alright, looks like we should be good to go in about 30 minutes, so make sure you've got all your stuff ready and prepared.
Josh pats Crack on the shoulder. It's good to see you've grown as a person.
No, I'm past my normal growth.
Excellent. Well done.
Crack,
What's happening?
Crack.
We're going to be leaving shortly, but you have a little bit of time to rest.
Crack.
Go ahead.
You see a person head over to the truck with what looks like a long, it looks almost like a high-tech window scraper that they put to one side of the broken windshield and begin to move across. And as they do, this light emanates from underneath it, and you see where it passes, the window is being fixed.
Is this a device that I know anything about? Or
You're
is
familiar
this...
with it. It's sort of a it is a nanomachine array that basically very rapidly reconstitutes and repairs damaged machinery as it passes over. You can set it to a couple of different settings. This one obviously has the ability to be set to glass. It's one of those tools that is very expensive and very rare and very hard to get a hold of, but very useful.
Oh, that's very nice. Do you have any more?
No?
Do you need that one after this?
Yes?
Could I have it anyway?
Is there a skill you're trying to put to use here, Crack?
I mean, patently not, but I guess I should make a roll anyway.
If you like.
Charm, I guess. What is it when you just say, I want that, please give it to me?
I'll say it's charm.
Intimidation.
No, he said he's
Like,
asking
there's
nicely. What is my...
There is a negotiation skill. I realize it might not be the most relevant, but it is there.
I feel like Crack is approaching this more from a pretty pleased than a negotiation stance.
We brought you so many weapons.
Give me a charm roll 2 difficulty with a boost die because you did just bring a whole bunch of supplies into here.
Okay.
Do not make me choke you.
That's exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any? You don't have any force powers like
And it's,
Influence.
what's
what's
influence?
the these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Influence.
Yeah, no,
Influence.
and he wouldn't use it anyway.
As grateful as they are for your assistance, it doesn't seem like they're willing to part with this particularly rare piece of equipment.
Can I finish using it?
They are less inclined to let you hold it, considering you just asked them for it.
Crack.
What if one of the other windows was broken?
Crack.
Crack. Do
Leave
not
it
make
alone.
me choke you
Okay.
again.
I have
If
one
you-
other question, but I have to go talk to everyone. I'll be right back. Yes.
Leave it alone, Crack.
But it seems very useful. You all
I
break,
will.
You all break things very often.
I will choke you.
Yes, you've expressed that desire before.
No, this isn't a desire. This is I will do this.
I will not stop her.
It would be a very useful.
And Mara. lost
And we
that.
lost Mara.
Oh.
All right, you're back.
It would be a very use
Maybe?
something.
Okay, it would be a very useful piece of equipment, but we
I
do not
agree.
know which direction we are going after this, and if it would be even useful where we are going. They have a stable base of operations here, and a lot more people to help.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Also, they seem to trust us less after your conversation, and the amount of trust they have in us is currently directly dependent upon how long we might live.
Crack's facial tentacles are doing sort of a pulsating, almost like that you would associate with a squid swimming away, which anyone who knows him well enough is essentially just a pouty face. And he says, "But I ask very nicely."
That doesn't mean you get what you asked for.
Yes, but I do want it.
Understood. That does not mean it will happen.
All right.
Can't always get what you want starts playing in the background.
You can't always get what you want.
Well, does anyone else have any, before we depart, does anyone else have any gear that they need repaired or looked over?
I need to be repaired.
I would like to do that. Is any of your glass broken?
I do not contain glass.
What is the faceplate? Is that like
It is
plasteel?
It's like it is a. I'm imagining like a plasma. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
an LED screen.
it'd be like a plasteel LED screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do.
You don't typically put just plain old glass on a combat droid chassis.
No, it's a bad idea.
I believe the
Because
name
it
of
breaks,
the metal.
right?
Yeah.
I believe the name of the highly survivable but transparent metal is literally transparasteel.
Well, there's a couple of different variations. There's transparent steel, there's lamina steel, and there's plasteel. All three of which have varying degrees of translucency.
Like I believe for
Plastic.
making like
all
a
three
light
of which
screen.
are better than glass.
Yeah.
Yes. All three of which are better than glass.
It's the whatever's the cheapest upgrade from glass. I feel like that's it. Anyway, I need repairs.
Let's see what we can do.
It's just a difficulty one.
Okay.
Because again,
I only have
George
2
Lucas
wounds.
and naming conventions. What's our transparent steel? Transparasteel.
I do.
I mean,
I get 2 boost on
that's as good. That's as good a naming convention as real life people name things.
There's going to be one extra advantage.
What do we call this place? What do we call this place? Well, we had a Jersey back home. We'll call it New Jersey.
Yeah.
We had a York back home. We'll call it New York.
Okay, I'm going to take 4 of those to heal all my strain, and I am 0 wounds now. Thank you.
Now look, both of our colonies can't be called Carolina. We're gonna have to differentiate.
North and south.
All right. And I will take. Let's see. You said you had 4 strain.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna take the other 2 and just give it to you on your next, whatever your next roll is,
Okay.
to take a boost.
Sweet.
It will be 1 single as opposed to 2 because I'm giving it to you specifically.
Okay. So 1 boost die.
As I clean out all the grit in your joints.
I'm just amused that the catch-all term for very strong metals and
Cool.
like very strong metal alloys is durasteel, but there's no indicator that steel was ever a thing.
No, once you get Durasteel, you don't need steel anymore. Though, actually, there are steel weaponry on the planet that worships the planet that had a Star Destroyer crash on it, and they now use the destroyed control tower as a tower for their Force users.
The D&D in Star Wars.
The fantasy,
planet?
yeah, the fantasy planet.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have steel weaponry there. So steel is one of those universal constants where at a certain level of technology you have steel, but then when you get to Durasteel, you don't need steel anymore.
Yeah. It's like, we have steel, now we have steel plus.
That's like they have Duracrete and they
Concrete plus.
Yeah, they have Duracrete and Plascrete and all like all manner of like concrete but more. So they don't ever use concrete
I
anymore.
wonder if they have transparacrete.
Probably.
I like that you can sort of identify what the material's used for based on whether it's Dura, Plas, or Transpari.
Yeah.
Plas is flexible, so you can use it like plastics.
Anyways.
So what else do we need to get together before we can head back to the Shio?
Each
I
other.
think we have everything I think we're just waiting on
Barney,
the Archon.
Barney walks in, you and all your friends, and then Ilyana kills him.
I feel like I would have to race others to that.
Yeah, but you've got the whip, so it hits first.
That is true.
Here's the thing, though. No. I feel like she doesn't kill him. I feel like she decides, no, this is my Rancor mount.
As a Night Sister, yeah.
What are you doing up there? Shut up. Take off.
Make me
breaks out the electroprods.
I will remove your tongue.
you pull the.
You to wine.
You open the costume suit, put a ball gag on the guy inside's mouth, then close it back up.
I really want
anyway.
this to happen now.
That would be the if this was Family Guy scenario.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways. 30 minutes pass, assuming there's nothing else anybody wants to do.
Nope.
You all get back in the truck.
There are things Crack wants to do, but he won't do them.
You get back up into the truck. And you head out. I mean, Crack, if you want to spend a light side point, there could be an extra one of these tools somewhere for you.
Okay, yes, definitely. I'm going to do that. If that's a possibility.
Give them all.
That seems like... I'm not even asking the party, because you all were very mean to me.
Why would you ask anyways?
Again, I will reiterate what Jeremy said earlier. This party has used these light side points for far pettier things.
So as you're getting into the truck, Crack, you sort of reach over and look into your bag, and there is one of these devices in it. And when you look up and look around, that same tech just gives you a wink and goes about working with their own tool.
Thank you, window repair fairy.
Now, to be clear, these things can be set to many different settings. It's not just that it can only do glass. You can
repair so many things.
So this is a nanite repair. This is a nanite repair wand. It gives you
nano extruder.
Life day has come early.
It gives you an upgrade to all mechanics checks to repair things.
What? Excuse me?
So long as you are using it to repair things, you can get so long as you're using it, you get an upgrade to your mechanics check.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's
Fantastic.
a very good tool.
Immediately over your shoulder. What you got there?
It's a nanite repair wand.
What's
It
that
uses
do?
nanites to repair things. All sorts of things. Look.
What if
and
you
he
use
looks-
it on a person?
Does not work on people. Unless they have cybernetics.
But what if you use it on a person?
It doesn't work.
It might put some nanites in them.
Literally
Really?
nothing.
What I'm trying to say is introducing nanites into people, despite what Marvel Comics will tell you, is not harmless to them.
I was gonna say, I feel like Ileana is trying to realize the enhanced interrogation of applications of this tool.
Eliana, I do have a question for you, though. Why do you always want to choke me?
I don't always want to choke you.
Yes, but I felt like you did.
I can't look, I can't help whatever your insecurities about being choked or not choked are.
And out of character for a second. I know there was an expressed desire to
Yes.
start off, and then we didn't do that. I feel like last week Ileana was going to choke Crack, and then I think we forgot.
Oh. Yeah.
You may be accurate, and I
I-
can't remember
and
why.
I can't-
Yes, you said that
because I
she-
killed the guy that she was in the middle of.
That's
choking.
right.
Oh, right. Yes. That was. You...
See, that's why I told everybody so that somebody would remind me.
But none of us
And now they
remember.
have.
I only just remembered now. I'm sorry.
No worries. I don't
Um,
always want to choke you, and if you think I do, well, that's your problem, not mine.
Well,
That
you said you were
when
going to, though.
That said, when you do things wrong, you must be corrected.
Right, but if you're suggesting that I was wrong in asking for the nanite repair wand, I asked for it, and now I have one. Ergo, asking was the correct method.
That is not how that works.
It's very much how it worked in this particular case.
Correct. You're a
You do know
man
that
of
those
scientific bent, correct?
I would like to flatter myself as such. Yes, Josh.
Correlation is not causation.
No, but this is the first point of data. I tried asking nicely, and I received the thing. Ergo, I will ask nicely in the future.
First of all, you asked nicely in a way that creeped them out.
Craig just sort of points at the nanite wand.
Okay, I appreciate the idea of creeping people out to get results. However, time and a place for everything.
How can I ask and be less creepy?
I don't think Ileana's
I'm
the
not-
person you want to ask
I'm
that.
not. Yeah, I
No.
cannot help you with that.
Oh, why not?
That is not her
No
strength.
reason. Just can't.
Josh, can you tell me how to be less creepy when I ask for things?
I feel that if you approach things having already formulated through data, research, observation specifically, having already formulated a schematic based around previous observations as to what would be considered socially appropriate in a given situation. For instance, it is quite socially appropriate for a youngling to approach their parent and ask for food or drink.
Or Corsarat sitting in the corner just watching Jash goes down this down this train.
Youngling in this
Without-
context, a
and-
young one, not the Jedi associated term youngling.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. Without any necessity for repayment or having earned it, simply because of the established relationship between those two beings. It is far different for a grown individual to approach, say, a shopkeeper and make the same request with the same expectations? You see the difference there?
I do, but is that not dependent upon culture?
Somewhat, yes. In a highly collectivist culture, it may be perfectly appropriate to go to an artisan and expect a simple verbal inquiry to be assented to, enthusiastically even. But most cultures that we are likely to encounter, there's a level of cost and repayment that goes along with that sort of thing.
Well,
For instance, if you misplaced your lightsaber,
Checks really quick. Finds it. It's okay.
oh God, where's the other one? Oh, they're both there.
and found yourself without it for an extended period of time, it's generally considered inappropriate to go to another member of the order and simply ask to use theirs. These are personal objects with a great deal of meaning and importance to the individual who possesses them, and not something that is likely to be freely lent.
Well, Josh, I certainly understand that. And again, we had just delivered a truck full of munitions to the resistance. This was not something asked out on a whim. Plus, I really wanted it.
I have
Yes,
I have a much simpler solution for you as a method of being less creepy, Crack.
Yes,
Be prepared to take no for an answer and don't follow up with subsequent requests.
Or don't talk.
Learn when to shut your mouth.
It's a beak.
Ever.
Ask only once, and then no more after that.
If you receive a no, the answer is no. Subsequent questions will not change the answer to a yes. In fact, they will make it more firmly into a no.
But what about subsequent statements that are not questions, but assertions of fact or evidence that would challenge the initial
Also
response?
likely to reinforce the answer into a no.
Well, now I'm completely lost.
Pantier is sitting in the back of the truck, watching this exchange, with a look on his face that is hard to interpret.
Corsorath trying to teach someone about consent.
Yep.
How much longer before we get to this place where your ship's docked? Pantier says to cut the conversation off.
Not quick enough.
Corsorath looks at his comm unit to see where we're at.
You're about, you are several hours away still.
Yeah, it's going to be a few hours.
He has to learn somehow.
Cool. I'm gonna be outside as he lowers the back hatch and steps out onto the roof.
Lucky.
It's like that Steven Universe where Garnet just like jumps out of the car while it's moving.
Kind of. He opens the thing, grabs the roof, steps out, and flips up.
Nariz is driving, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Nariz, you do feel a shifting in the weight of the vehicle as you're driving it? Like something just got on the roof?
Should I be concerned?
No, that's just Pantier.
I went to get some air.
Right.
We need to get away from Crack.
Well,
That's what happened.
wow.
Might have been to get away from more than just Crack. You never know.
I mean that's true, but the voice of God doesn't get to
No,
present our to.
Was I? See, what was my conversation asking how to not be creepy? Creepy.
Yes.
Yes.
This is generally something people are understood to have understood.
The entire
This-
lower bar just said yes at
Why?
the same time.
This is something that typically younglings would learn.
There weren't a lot of other younglings in the engine compartment, and Archon Cal didn't discuss creepiness one way or the other.
Youngling also isn't a term for Twilight Orders members.
In the term of young creature.
This is fair. It takes practice, but in the meantime, he may not want to listen to the same thing that he has already known. However, I don't know where I was going with the rest of that. No, I'm just gonna end there. Yeah.
With a however and just trail off.
Thanks, Nerys.
You're welcome.
This is through comms, or is there a window?
There's like a
There's a
window.
window.
Cab.
Oh,
There's a window.
Okay.
there's a window? Okay.
You have to slide it open and close. The back of the truck's still open, by the way.
Of course, Rath shuts it.
Continue driving.
Craig looks around to see if there's anything broken in the back of the truck.
Well, that depends on your definition. There is certainly Ilyana, Corsorath, Avasi, and Avasi in the back.
Any mechanical objects that are mechanically broken?
No.
Okay.
Physically, not spiritually.
There you go. No, there's nothing broken to repair.
I'm gonna take my scanner goggles and snap them.
Crack! Okay, now I can fix this.
Yeah, okay, you break him.
And then I'm going to try to repair them with the nanite repair wand.
Okay.
Really hope they. Sorry, but I really hope they fail just because of the humor value.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty. We'll say you took it from regular to minor.
Okay.
So the difficulty on repairing minor damage is have that anymore?
I also feel like there are a lot of other people who would be like, "Oh no, I dropped them." Cracks just like snap.
What's the difficulty for repairing gear?
Good question. I don't know.
Weapon maintenance.
I think if it's just one step.
Easy. So I mean, one difficulty.
Yeah.
One difficulty
Okay.
for a minor. Minor is 1, moderate is 2, major is 3. Major damage is completely unusable. So yeah, you snap a piece of the thing, pull up the wand, open up the hollow menu, set it for the appropriate materials, and with one pass of the wand, it's back to normal.
Are you gonna make a habit of that?
I just had to make sure it was functioning.
Crack puts on his goggles in the back of the truck, turns them on.
Works fine.
Crack starts looking around just to see if he's picking up any signatures anywhere.
What kind of goggles is it?
They are scanner goggles. They work like a heat signature scanner, and they
Oh.
can also magnify things. But they're just you wear them as
You-
goggles
you-
as opposed to putting on binoculars.
There's no significant heat signature that shouldn't be nearby.
Okay. Can I see where Pantier is on the top of the roof?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just above you. Sort of dead center on top of the roof.
Red will sort of pipe up. In the interest of social cues are hard for you. If you do that to the ship just because you want to see if you can repair it, I will be annoyed.
I would never break the ship.
I would have.
That is what I like about you.
I would have said, to be fair, I would have said the same thing about any technology you own up until about 5 seconds ago.
Well, I didn't make these. I bought them.
I said own.
Right, but I didn't make them.
Ah,
You didn't make the ship.
Well, I did in a significant way. I turned it from inoperable and I made it a functioning ship. I turned it from a ship-shaped pile of parts into a functioning ship.
Fascinating place, the interior of his mind, I must say.
Are we there yet?
No.
Can we be there yet?
Is there any other
You
scenes
Yes,
you guys
let
want
me
to?
wanna
press
spend
the
a life
button
side?
that
No,
takes
no.
us-
To be clear, that was in character.
Uh-huh.
No, that was just a joke that I was making.
Yes, let me press this button to take us there instantly.
You have a button that'll do that, and you haven't pushed
Yes.
it yet?
Yes, there it is. Wow, look at that. That was very nice.
Ilyana, that's sarcasm. I'm very
Damn it.
disappointed in you.
Damn it.
Does this vehicle have any sort of radio or
Yes,
something?
yes, it does.
I turn on the radio.
You begin to get military for radio frequencies from the Imperial presence on Alderaan.
Try and change it to any sort of music whatsoever.
I have a recording of Hergleg Opera on my datapad.
No.
It's really quite beautiful.
No.
This is more of a CB radio
Are you
than,
upset
a,
about the...
than a music radio, so you don't really get a radio station.
I turn the radio back off.
Are you upset about missing the sarcasm, Ilyana? Ilyana?
Choose your next words very carefully. What?
There's just a long silence.
which is interrupted by the sound of what you all recognize to be Alderanian rock music coming from the roof.
Thank you.
Alderanian rock.
It's called Aldrock.
Yeah, Aldrock.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, and yet still.
As
Oh,
Pantier has produced something akin to a boombox, and he's just holding it as he rides on the roof.
I just lean forward slightly to stare at Crack, as if expectant.
I look in the rearview mirror. I swear to God, children, I will pull this car off the road.
Go ahead. We'll get where we get regardless.
Where are we going, Ilyana?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Well, you could do that instead of antagonizing Crack.
Actually, I probably couldn't because I've already looked today. It's a little harder once you have. You can only look so much.
All right.
So since I can't do that,
You could just look out a window instead.
Are there any windows
This
in the
is
back
more
of this
fun.
truck?
There's an open back.
There's the hatch.
It's just closed.
The entire
Of course,
back
Rat
is-
did close it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can open the hatch back up.
Does Crack say anything?
Craig thinks for a little while and says, I have a different question.
with the same caveat applying, yes.
Can you tell me more about how you summon items?
Actually, no.
Okay. We've been through quite a bit together since the last time I asked.
You haven't yet become a Night Sister, so no.
Okay.
Is that a thing you expect him to become at some point?
I think
I lean
easily-
over. No, but it's fun to make him think that he might. I want to see him try to go through initiation.
Can I make a
Raz Shayla just
perception
turns
check?
him into a frog and leaves him.
Still amphibious. Can I make a perception check to see if I hear that?
Sure.
Sure. We'll say with a setback of disadvantage, with a setback because of the alder rock music playing,
And
Fair.
also the loud sound of a truck.
and
Difficulty 2, 3.
yeah, difficulty 2 with 1 setback die.
Okay.
And I'm going to actually upgrade the difficulty with a dark side point because it's funny.
Yay!
And I want to see what happens if you get a despair on a perception check. Oh, no despair.
Nope.
2 successes though, so you do hear.
There's a ritual.
Well, now that you've heard, I suppose I'll have to show you at some point.
Okay. Tell me what a good time would be.
Oh, I will.
Isaiah will lean over to Ileana. Please let me be there for that.
Crack happily goes back to playing with the nanite wand.
Orsarath looks at both of them and just stares.
Razia
Looks
just
back
smiles at
with an
Orsarath.
absolute look of pure innocence.
And he just continues to stare.
Unflinching innocence back.
And he just continues to stare.
Unflinching innocence is not exactly a term I would apply to Ilyana.
No, but the ability to look like it.
Holly knows exactly the stare that is being given
know
right
the
now.
Stare, you gave it to me yesterday.
You are absolutely correct. Unflinching innocence would not generally be applied. Manipulative bitch might
absolutely.
be.
Absolutely, that's right up there.
Therefore, you can fake it.
So, is there any other scenes you guys want to have over the course of the next few hours?
Please stop me from doing more.
I feel like in the front of the
Nope, we're
car,
good.
Red and Nere's are the parents who just do not want this conversation to continue.
I keep checking the back mirror just every so often.
Corsarath is back here, so it theoretically shouldn't devolve into someone actively trying to kill someone.
You'd be
Theoretically.
surprised.
No.
I'm prepared.
A few hours pass driving. At one point, you do see an Imperial fighter like approaching to check out why there's a truck with a guy sitting on top of it with a boombox. And as it approaches, you see that long staff like double-bladed lightsaber that Pantier has just rocket into the sky through the cockpit and then whip back towards the truck as the starfighter crashes.
So,
The image on my head of a Jedi on a roof of a truck with a boombox just going ship falling out of the sky behind him as it comes back around
So-
is amazing.
John, what you're saying is Alderrock is Peter Gabriel music? To say anything reference.
It's one that I don't
In
get.
your eyes.
Yep.
Come on! it's no-
In your eyes,
Get
yeah.
it?
you're all
Holding the boombox over your head,
Right,
playing in your
yeah.
eyes.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
Jesus
Got it as soon as
Christ!
Jeremy did that.
I had my back twisted back into position today. I do not have a brain right now, okay? I had a very nice lady sit on top of me and go until my back straightened out.
there.
It's been a day. This was after not being able to sleep at all last night because laying down hurts. Anyways. So, you eventually get back to the villa. As the villa comes into view, there's a clink clink at the back door,
I open it.
and Pantier gets back in. Having seen it in action, you would now classify his lightsaber as more of a light javelin, Nere's, because that's definitely how he threw it. And you You go back up to the you go back to the parking lot of the villa and replace the unmarked Imperial truck with a marked Imperial truck. So your
Get out.
ship is parked somewhere here.
Yep.
Lead the way.
Wrath will lead the way back into the compound.
The boombox has disappeared. You don't know where it went.
Crack immediately looks around for something to repair.
One of the cars is a flat tire.
Off he goes.
Crack. We have a goal here.
Okay.
Thank
See,
you.
I would call the genre alt rock, like alt rock, but with a D.
Yeah, exactly.
Nereus is just nervously like making sure that nothing looks like the alarms have been raised at all, anything worrisome, anything different
Sorry.
than
No, I'm just
that.
picturing that last scene, but with arms wide open, like playing from the roof of the truck.
So you're saying Alderanian rock is bad, and not the good forms of alt rock.
There is a
I mean,
wide
given
range.
Everything we know about the cultural structure of Alderaan, yes, there were the crap forms of alt rock.
Okay, that's true. That is true. This
Yeah,
this is fucking Alderaan.
Yeah.
Listen, Creed is not the worst alt rock to exist.
Oh, far from it. I didn't say
No.
the worst. I said bad.
To be clear, actually music that I quite enjoy. Making a joke.
No, I would say you would get like Creed, but also like Death Cab for Cutie, and like I feel like there's a range of alt rock that is varying quality. And Coruscant music, music from Coruscant is literally all
Coruscant.
What did I say?
Coruscant.
Coruscant is what you're trying for.
Again, my brain. Coruscant is all like synthwave. Is all like
Trap EDM.
synthwave trap EDM music. Yeah.
Corellia just plays nothing but U2 all day, every day.
Yep.
No,
yep,
no. Corellia plays nothing but Bon Jovi all day, every day. Nothing but Bon Jovi.
So exactly what Jack said, but less cool.
It's just living on a prayer the entire
Exactly.
way.
Every garage, every Corellian mechanic is sitting underneath the starship, going, "Oh, we're halfway there."
That is the saddest planet that ever planeted.
Hey, I like Bon Jovi, and so do they.
I like Bon Jovi too, but that song, it's a good song, but it is not a happy song.
No, it's not.
I didn't mean sad as in like pathetic. I meant actually sad, because apparently that's all they play.
Yeah, I mean, they have at the moment they're currently under Imperial occupation, so yeah. Anyways.
Oh, look, the ship is here.
You get back to the Shio. No one seems to notice you at all as you're moving through the villa. Every time someone looks over, there's just a slight hand motion from Pantier, and they walk on by.
It's not making me less nervous. Okay.
As he does these aren't the droids you're looking for en masse to anybody that pays attention. But
Crack turns to Corsaroth and kind of points at Pandier and says, "So that's okay, but asking nicely repeatedly is not."
In this particular case, we are not affecting allies. We are moving unnoticed.
Also, we don't get to tell them what to do.
Also, yes, he's an Archon. We are simply knights. We don't exactly get any degree of control over his actions.
I mean, you could try.
We're trying to teach Crack basic social etiquette. Sorry.
I understand. I just like to
Ash is
imagine
just
that,
walking alongside Neri's.
I just like to imagine that nervous laugh Jeremy had was what Ilyana's actual reaction was. So, you all get up to the Shio. It's still fine. You disengage from it and take off. Once you're clear of the compound and heading towards Atmo, Pantier Pantier moves up to the Navicomputer and punches in a series of coordinates. All right, so here's our rendezvous with the other Archons that I've been able to contact so far. Still waiting to hear back from a few, but we've got enough to start making a plan.
Oof. How many have we heard from?
Hatafeni, Lotver, and Zilda. I'm still waiting for Teyokra to reply.
Maybe Zilda will have some extra news from his interrogation.
Hopefully.
And just because I don't remember if it was said at some point, does that group of people, we've met Zilda, but the other two have any particular like strengths known for
So you've all met Hatafeni.
doing more types of missions?
You've all met Hatafeni was the mystic that was there when you came back from your initiation mission when you built your lightsabers. The person around whom the Force seemed to like give way. Who had like just one of the strongest presences in the Force you guys have ever seen. And they're the one that studies Force nexuses.
Okay.
You know, Lotver is the Archon that was on Coruscant, working as an information broker and sort of spy in Republican territory.
Yep.
You know Zilda. You do not know anything about Teyokra. None of you have ever met Teyokra. You just know the name.
Okay.
And of course, you've done a mission for Zilda, so.
And should our well of knowledge be running a bit shallow, Korsarath, could we see what sort of progress Black Pyramid has made in pinning down Fluxati's location?
I'll see if I can get in contact, but he might not exactly be in a position to reach out to.
Understood.
I will see if I can make contact.
All right. You click the beacon. Symbol appears. It just sort of wavers a bit, like a loading screen, before cutting out.
Nope. Not currently? All right.
Not at the moment.
All right. So the planet that you are currently, or the area that you are currently going to, is the planet of Taurus in the Outer Rim.
Fucking hell. Let's not get turned into rackhools.
Currently under Republic control, but it seems like your rendezvous point is not actually on the planet, but nearby. In that system, though. All right, so we're heading to Republican-controlled territory, Taurus. Not landing on the planet, though. There's going to be a barge for us to set the Shio down into on the other side of Taurus's star. That's where we're meeting the Archons.
Right.
Judging from the Navicomputer, it's going to take 3 days to get there. So, with the ship in transit, you have 3 days before you arrive. Is there anything significant anyone wants to do, or should we continue on? Red.
If I can get Korsarath alone at some point, I did want to briefly. At some point where names are hard. At some point where Avasia is separate, just sort of knock on the side of a door frame or something. Hey.
Yes.
I was hoping you might indulge a curiosity of mine. Let me know if this is too personal, but your father is involved in all of this now. Admittedly, I have no ground to stand on when it comes to what constitutes familial relationships, but I was surprised how open you were about who your father was, where he worked for, and his other affiliations, given the implicitly overt nature of his career.
Because at this point, this is as much news to me as it is to anyone else. And I don't have enough of a ground to really justify. And at this point, there's no purpose in concealing the sources of my information from other members of the Order. Especially when his relationship to the Order is a strong one. He is the brother of our leader.
Makes sense. Then, just because I've watched this group for a little while, I might suggest clarifying to our less socially adept members where you expect the sharing of that information to stop once you've figured that out for yourself.
You know, I probably would have done that earlier if I thought it would have any effect.
Okay, that's fair. It's your information, you can decide, but
I don't know if I told Crack not to tell anyone who my father is or what he does if he would not find some other loophole that he felt it was appropriate to share that information in. His mind works in labyrinthine ways.
that's reasonable.
It is very much a series of code constraints, and if it does not fit any of the specific parameters I've provided, then clearly it does not apply.
Yeah.
Trying to get Crack to understand something.
I just think that he might be working with...
He's got a different set of parameters in his head.
Yeah.
Getting Crack to understand something is like programming a computer. If you do it wrong, it doesn't come through properly.
Well, it just occurred to me, I just was curious mostly, but it occurred to me that might be worth asking.
And I'll note, because it's less obvious among this particular crew, that is not an insult to Crack. His intelligence is staggering. He just has a different way of viewing the world.
I suspect that most of us are on very dramatically different wavelengths. Well, I'm gonna go bemoan the complete lack of drugs I've been able to acquire since kicking my previous addiction. And so yeah.
Are you looking to replace one addiction with another?
That was your medical officer's advice.
Was it? I don't remember.
Yes,
this.
it was.
Other medical officers. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Archon, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The Archon basically like, if it helps to take your mind off of this thing that you're going to be craving for the next few years, Find something smaller, like death sticks.
Hmm, that's right.
Yeah, that was essentially what was said.
You're recovering from a heroin addiction, so go smoke some cigarettes.
Wean yourself off.
Yeah, except for like amp both of those up a lot.
Yeah.
Because death sticks are way worse than cigarettes, and spice is like
the drug.
yeah.
Like,
anyway,
Spices to drugs what dragons are to lizards.
Like Jeremy makes a joke about poisoning himself when he's talking about cigarettes. Death sticks are actively poisoning yourself.
I mean, so are cigarettes.
yeah.
I mean, I make a joke, but I'm also dead serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like in
Kinds of poison.
Anyway.
in a much more literal sense, death sticks are a hallucinogenic poison.
Yes.
Anyways.
Anyway, yeah. That was all I wanted to do.
Pete was making a joke for clarification.
But he doesn't exactly deliver jokes.
Oh no, he doesn't
very
deliver
well.
jokes very well, is the funny part.
Red took that very literally, as you can tell,
Ah, yeah.
but was also joking.
Nerese is going to push anyone who still needs healing. Red, there is a back to tank. It is on autopilot.
The back to tank is on autopilot?
No, the ship is on
I mean,
autopilot.
I guess the back to tank is on autopilot, technically.
Oh,
that too.
yeah, I guess I should probably try and heal
Yes.
my other critical injury, because I can't ignore it.
Anybody else want to
You
hop in the back
can,
to
it
tank?
will not end well.
Well, if you're getting into a back to tank, you've got 3 resilience checks you can make to see if you can succeed on the recovery.
What's happening? Okay.
Oh, crack.
Are you
Stuff in chat.
fucking kidding me?
Jeremy has just discovered that the type of music played in the Mos Eisley Cantina is called in canon jizz music.
Yes,
Are you fucking
Yep.
kidding?
that is
That's
legit
the
what it's
music
called.
genre.
What the actual fuck?
A jizz band in Mos
I
Eisley.
say actual fuck this time.
I
I
heard
mean
of that.
literal
Yep.
actual.
Yes, that is legit what it's
One
called.
success is enough to heal it, John.
Yeah, so it's the difficulty of the critical injury. If you make 1 success, you heal it.
No one else has critical injuries, right?
No,
I mean,
No,
Unless
but
people
what
want
way
them.
do wounds recover?
so you get one wound per day, but in a back to tank, it's 1 wound every 2 hours.
Okay, so even if I'm healing a critical injury, my wounds would have been recovered by the back to
Oh
tank
yeah,
as
because
well.
it's 24 hours before you can heal from a critical injury, so
Yeah.
you would have recovered 24 wounds, or you would have recovered 12 wounds.
Sorry about that.
I just-
Continue on with actually interesting.
I just want to point out that the name of a musician that specializes in jizz music is a jizz whaler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have wounds they're going to soak in a back to tank for?
Nope.
No,
I've got
but
3 wounds. I'm just gonna let them stick.
Yeah, so in 3 days, they're...
Let them. Yeah, exactly.
as opposed to famous Star Wars musician Droopy McCool.
Is Droopy McCool a jizz whaler?
No, he's one of the ones who plays in Jabba's palace. I don't think that counts as jizz.
I mean, it's the same band.
He probably dabbles in jizz.
It's the same band from the Mos Eisley Cantina.
I'm gonna break Jeremy when I tell you that one of the instruments played by jizz whalers
Oh, no.
is called a jizz box.
Dear George Lucas.
He didn't want to say
Look,
jazz
eat
because
me!
There are only so many word slants you can do before you get a porn term.
he
Oh,
didn't.
come on.
He didn't want to say jazz,
I mean,
so he
yes.
changed it to a different letter.
Okay, so here's my problem. There's also another music form that he created, as opposed to, having one music form, and that one's called jats, apparently.
You got jizz and jats, yeah. Don't mix the two up.
Like, come on. George.
When Ilyana snaps and kills Crack, my next character will be named Jizz and Jats.
Jats.
Is he a force sensitive jizz whaler?
He is now.
By the time of the Clone Wars, however, Jats was considered turgid and outdated compared to the more modern genre of leap jump.
It's just a leap jump to the left.
There are days that I love Star Wars, and there are days that I don't love Star Wars.
Hang on, I need to clean up a mess I just made. Give me a second.
Man, there's only so much talking about jizz we can do before John makes a mess.
Are you
I got it.
trying to murder me?
I got it all over myself too.
It writes itself.
Here it is.
We joke about how this game is like entirely comprised of subtextual horniness. But we just decided, you know what? We're going to make the jokes out loud for half an hour.
Yep.
Listen,
Pretty
the
much.
entire setting is made up.
That's true of any setting.
There is a genre of music called flaunt.
Had to get.
Now you're just making up syllables.
Had
I'm
to-
legit.
That's the
Like-
word, though.
Like in the genres of music page on the Wikipedia, there is a music genre called flaunt.
Oh, FLAUNT.
Yes.
I
Okay,
had
so
to-
the
Flaunt is
actual
a
word.
word.
Okay.
It's a silly
Yes, it
word,
is.
but it's
There's
real.
another
No, it's an
music
absolutely
genre.
a word.
There's another music genre called heavy isotope.
I had to get a towel because it was gonna get sticky and attract ants. So, anyways,
Fuck you, dude. I'm trying to eat here.
whose fault
I'm
is
not
that?
saying that because I'm not saying that because it's
So,
gross. I'm
if-
saying that because I'm gonna start laughing and choke to death and die on stream, and it'll be your fault.
What? Think about the ratings, though.
thing.
Come on.
We won't get in so much trouble.
It's not our
No,
fault.
it's an accident.
It was an accident.
It's an accident that you rebroadcast daily.
So hang on a minute. Hang on.
Clip this. Title it.
I have an
Watch
I have an
streamer
actual
die on
in-game
Twitch.
relevant question.
Sorry, I have one more. There's jizz and there's jats, and then there's literally a music called quank jazz.
Quank jazz.
Why do you need a form of jazz if there's jazz?
Sorry, Jack. You have an actual in-game question.
Yeah. Given the supplies that we still have in our armory and how those were incorporated to make lightsaber attachments previously,
Mm-hmm.
do we have enough still there out of the 9 riot armor, 4 laminate armor, 28 blaster rifles, etc., for Josh to see if Crack can put a superior weapon mod on his lightsaber?
What's the credit cost of superior weapon modification?
5K, I believe.
Yep, easily covered by the stuff that we have in storage.
So you get half book price in materials for each weapon. You've got 29. How many blaster rifles do you have?
28 blaster rifles.
Okay. 28 blaster rifles at
Blaster rifle would be
At-
half price would be $450 a piece.
450 a piece. Is how many credits? Somebody who's good at math, because I'm bad at
Sorry,
math.
So-
say that again.
10 of them would be 4,500. So then we need another 500, which would basically be 1 and a bit.
Sorry, how many blaster rifles were there?
29,
28.
28.
Is that in
That
what
would
we
take
just
us-
took from the new base?
No, that's what we still had
Okay,
left over.
Yeah, okay.
No, what you took
That
from the
would
new
just knock
base
us
went
down
to
to
the
16
blaster
rifles.
Pantiers.
Yeah.
Yep.
We also
Roll actual multiplication, darn you.
I've also got
I don't know what the
1,350
multiplication
credits
is.
in
Asterisk.
miscellaneous
Star.
parts.
It's
Thank
the
you,
asterisk.
thank you.
So I've got 1,350 credits in miscellaneous parts already in the pool. So you can
You said
just
1350?
yeah, 1,350. So you can just take from that to make up the difference.
So yeah,
There's
Without-
12,000 credits in parts in among those 28
Okay.
blasters.
so yeah, if you disassemble them, you have that much in parts. Feel free to utilize.
All right.
Do you want me to make a roll?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it'll be a mechanics roll. Let me take a look at it. How much does it cost? 5K
For the superior?
for the
Yeah.
superior weapon modification. So we'll say that's difficulty. We'll say that's difficulty 3. No, we'll say that's difficulty 4 because that's a particularly expensive mod.
Okay, that's fair. Take that
Again,
stuff.
this is just to create. To install doesn't require a roll.
Yes. Can I use the wand in the creation? Because
No, because this is the wand is specifically only for repairing things, not for modding
Not
and creating
fabrication.
things. Yeah, not fabrication. You do have one light side or 2 light side points left, though.
Nah. This is a lightsaber thing. I'm gonna have the Crabots help me out too.
Okay.
So.
I don't remember any of these music genres, by the way, when I was playing Star Wars Galaxies.
Oh, come on. I'm going to re-roll it because I get to with one of my talents. That is ridiculous.
Trigger your reroll talent.
That's more like it.
All right, you successfully create a superior weapon mod.
Any add-ons, Jack, if you have it open? I don't think the superior one can do add-ons.
think you can get add-ons to
No,
that
it's
one.
just
It's just kick-ass.
it just increases the damage you deal and reduces your crit range.
Yeah. Yep. No mod options on that one.
Increases the damage deal, and I think generates advantage rather than crit range. I mean,
Oh yeah. Weapon item qualities superior.
Generates an automatic advantage, and the base damage is increased by 1. Yep.
yeah.
Any aesthetic things that you want Crack to do to it while he's working on it? I mean, he'll measure Josh's hands and things like that because that's part of it.
No.
It like a...
Josh is very much going for the most absolute minimalist appearance that he can possibly manage on his lightsaber.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, but basically something that looks like it was made by Star Wars version of Apple, but in black.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The Reborn Sabers is what you're looking
perfectly.
Sure.
You never played any of the Jedi Outcast games?
It's been a while.
The Reborn Sabers were mass-produced lightsabers for Dark Jedi, and they're literally just like a black cylinder with a button.
Gotcha.
Nerys is going to go find Ilyana, like the second day.
Before we get to that, Ilyana is going to go.
I'm going to do a test roll with the lightsaber just to make sure I have this scripted right. Yes, I do. Okay.
Ilyana is going to go talk to Korthrath real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We'll walk out after, walk in after Red walks out.
I seem to be popular today.
Give a look. Look back. Walk in. Shut door.
I seem to be popular today.
Okay. So I feel like I could talk to Craig about this, but I feel like you're better at doing that, and if I talk to him, I'm probably gonna kill him, and you'll get angry at me for that.
All right.
So instead of that, I was thinking maybe it would be good if somebody suggested to him that when we're in the middle of a fight, it seems to be happening increasingly commonly. Maybe if somebody looks like they potentially have somebody something under control, maybe deal with something else instead of going out. It's more tactically efficient that way.
In many cases, yes. In that particular case, I will stand in his defense because that was the individual holding the biggest and most dangerous gun of the group and should be eliminated quickly.
and he was probably going to shoot at me, who could take it, and maybe
I would rather he didn't shoot at anyone with the biggest and most dangerous gun.
And maybe he shoots at me, who can take it, and there are, if that happens, that's one shot as opposed to multiple that were not dealt with that were aiming at you guys. I'm just saying, and this isn't the first time that's happened.
No,
This
it
isn't about one thing. This is about him not trusting a lot of people when it comes to combat.
I don't think it's him not trusting anyone.
I think it is. It's about every time people in general, but really because that's what matters in this conversation. Try to take an action. For example, I'm going to try to restrain something while we're in the middle of a heavy combat thing, and yell at a bunch of people to get up in the hole. No, I'm going to ignore what you say, and I'm going to try and fight the thing. It's a lack of trust in what I can do. And it's kind of getting, like I said, I'll kill him probably if we talk about this, because he won't understand, and then I'll get frustrated, and then you'll get angry at me. So I thought I'd bring it to you, and then there's no death, and nobody's angry at me.
All right. I will put to you, Ilyana, however, have you ever considered looking at it from Crack's perspective? Seeing an enemy who is vulnerable, but the act of making someone vulnerable is tying up effort and asset from a valuable ally, and my expenditure of energy to eliminate them allows them to put their focus to someone else, while simultaneously reducing the number of combatants on the battlefield. Crack places himself as the least valuable of our group. He would rather throw himself in danger than have anyone else be injured.
Yes, and that's stupid.
It might be, but it's not because he doesn't trust anyone. It's because he trusts us quite a lot and would rather we not be in harm's way.
It can be both things. That might be true, but that doesn't mean that it's not the other thing, too.
I will speak to him on the matter, but
Sweet.
In this particular instance, however, I do agree with him that eliminating a repeating blaster is an important move immediately.
I'll agree to disagree on that point and concede it for that one instance. Cool. Bye.
Well, I suppose I have to go find Crack then.
You find Crack sparring with Josh in the workout room.
Now, Crack, do you wish me... I know that you have a fascination with repairing equipment, some of it your own. Should I target your sabers, or do you wish to spar as usual? Can't hear you if you're talking, Craig.
Still can't hear you.
How about now?
Now
That's better.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I don't know what happened. Mechanical mute was not, or unmute was not working. Is that normally your method of attack?
It can be.
I'd rather you didn't.
All right. So yeah, just normal sparring.
Okay.
Avazi is probably in there just watching them.
Calculating. Walks in.
And Crack is just mostly defensive, I think, unless well, actually, Jash is a. They're both.
Jash is primarily a defensive. Yeah.
They're both Chorizo practitioners, right? Jash much more, I'm sure, smooth and practiced in it than Crack.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so it's a mix of attack and defense then. I was going to say he's just defending, but probably not then. It's a mixture of both.
How is it working?
Quite well.
Excellent.
Of course.
Hello, Kosorov.
Yeah.
Hello, Crack. Josh. Bazia.
Something we can help you with.
I do need to speak with Crack.
Oh. Snaps the blade to a salute and then deactivates.
Crack will do his best to return the salute.
As I provide fully.
Well done. Appreciate it.
Let me know if it continues to work as you expect, or if it needs any refinement or tweaks.
Certainly.
What's going on, Kosorov? Any problems with the ship?
No, at the moment, actually, the ship is working quite well.
Gauntlet Saber working all right?
He sort of flexes the left hand. Yes, very much.
Excellent. I'm out of options to ask about.
Don't worry.
One? Okay. Two? Okay. I'm out.
You're aware of the increasing friction with Ilyana, yes?
I suppose from my perspective, it had been more of a steady level, but yes.
Ilyana has asked me to speak with you regarding...
I don't want her to choke me, Kosorov.
No, I don't. That is not the subject matter at hand. Although, thank you for the amusement.
I'm quite serious about that. I'd really rather avoid it if possible.
Well, good, because that's part of the conversation. Ilyana would rather that you don't interfere when she is holding someone down, as she put it, in the middle of a fight.
Crack looks confused for a minute.
The one with the light repeating blaster.
In that particular instance, I would agree that his elimination was immediately required because he had the biggest and most dangerous gun of the group. But yes, in that kind of situation where Ilyana is restraining or otherwise occupying an individual, she would rather you focus on unoccupied enemies than dealing with the one that she is handling at the moment.
But you're aware he could still fire the blaster.
Oh, I am, which is why in that particular instance, I stand in your defense on that.
Is this about kill stealing?
For Ilyana, probably. Avazi will say from the side.
He nods in Avazia's direction.
Well, I don't want any credit for it. I can count that one as hers.
There is a certain level of tactical advantage when someone is in fact detaining someone from being an active threat in attacking the remaining individuals that are still an active threat. In that particular instance, I would say going after the light repeating blaster was the wiser move because he could still fire it, and between the light repeating blaster, one shot from that is worth 2 or 3 shots from any of those regular blasters they were carrying.
Okay.
But in general, and I'm mostly saying this so that I can confirm to Ilyana that I have said this to you.
I don't think I've ever done it before. Oh, was she trying to kill the one that I fell off the ship and killed?
I don't know, honestly.
Because I didn't see who was fighting then.
That was
really more of an
an accident.
I think the other incident that Ilyana brought up to me was when we were retreating, and Ilyana had someone tied up with the light whip and was
From the killbot.
Fleeing from the Cortosis assassin droid.
Oh, she was rather cross about that. Yes, that's because I didn't think Nerys could use a ladder, and I thought I would need to lift Nerys from below. So this was all simply a misunderstanding.
Oh, you poor dude. They're never gonna find the body.
I will warn you that Ilyana does not see it as such.
Well, I can explain it very clearly.
Explaining it will only agitate her.
Then I will not do so. May I suggest going forward in battle, should we identify targets?
If you need me to, I will.
I think Ilyana would look very dramatic pointing and going, that one is mine.
Like, huh?
I mean, Ilyana does make some very dramatic gestures when strangling someone with the Force.
Right, but again, that was only the one time, and you agreed with me on that one.
I do agree with you. I agree with you significantly on that one.
What if I had not... It points his fingers up like this. What if I had not killed that individual, but merely cut off the front of the gun, leaving the actual killing for Ilyana?
I legitimately don't know how Ilyana would have taken that.
Would it be okay to ask that?
That's a risk you're going to run.
Can I send a message through the ship's data net?
That is still a risk.
It's not that big of a ship, I'm just gonna say.
Ilyana will be able to walk down the corridor to find you.
Ilyana just gets a text. You up? About guns.
Okay. I'll try not to kill anyone that Ilyana wants to kill from now on.
Just be aware that she will be very frustrated and likely get violent if you do so again. Tactically speaking, you made the right call.
Okay.
Craig, I believe it's more don't get in the way when she is going in for the kill on someone.
Okay. I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen again. That wasn't what I was trying to do.
I know you weren't, and you made the right call in that last fight.
I
That's
agree.
why he's still breathing.
So make the wrong
Okay. Don't take that away from this conversation, please, Crack.
Take that away from this conversation.
Okay, Corsair. Thank you.
When you're going into a fight, find the worst possible decision and make that one.
I support this.
Please don't take that away from this conversation, Crack.
Okay. I won't.
Narrator voice. He will.
Believe me, it's a very complicated situation that you are currently sitting in. But generally speaking, let Ilyana handle who she feels like fighting. And when it comes back to bite her, then we'll deal with it then.
But I don't want anything bad to happen to Ilyana.
Next fight, lightning. Ilyana's down.
I mean, when that happens, go ahead and murder him. That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather Ilyana be mad at me than have something bad happen to her.
I would rather Ilyana learn from her own bad decisions. Because she's not going to learn from them if we simply explain to her that the tactically advantageous decision was to eliminate the heavy weapon. Because heavy weapons are a dramatic force multiplier. We have to...
Just look at red. 5 guys down.
We have to.
Crack. If Ileana is going to make a bad decision, I believe Korsarath would rather her make that in the heat of combat when the rest of us are there to attempt to mitigate the consequences, and we can have a discussion about it later, rather than the bad decision she make be that she needs to solve the problem of your existence, which is not something we'll be able to recover from.
That as well.
Make the bad decision in the heat of combat, not in the darkened shadows of
Not in the bowels of the engine room.
where bodies won't be discovered for weeks.
She does show up in my room sometimes.
That's concerning.
That might be an entirely different discussion.
I'm sorry, what did Crack just say?
She does
show up in my room sometimes.
Under her breath, the Vazia. Well, I did that once also.
Looks over his shoulder. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
Thanks, Korsarath.
But yes, believe me, you in this particular moment, you are in the right.
But don't do it again.
Let Ileana learn from her. Let Ileana learn from her own mistakes.
Just be
Okay.
careful so she doesn't murder you.
Okay.
And perhaps focus more on following the lead of those who are perhaps more skilled in combat or experienced in fighting.
Oh, that I definitely will. He sounds much more confident and happy about that than he has about anything else in the last 2 minutes.
Well, I need to go take care of something, but I'll see the rest of you a bit later for the meal.
It's a skilled dodge.
And Josh goes down to the bunks area.
As you get to the entrance of the hangar bay, it opens as you approach it, and Roland Pantier is standing on the other side of it.
No, Archon.
Josh, steps by you, walks right through the middle of this conversation to the far end of the hangar, ignites his lightsaber, and begins training.
Josh is going to go down to his own cabin and very cautiously open the door and turn on the light and just make sure nobody else is in there.
Ileana or Neres, are either one of you in Josh's cabin?
Oh, I
Nope.
kind of want to spend a
think
force
so.
point to have been in there, but I don't have any good reason.
No, do it anyways.
I mean, it depends on my
I got
conversation
lost.
with Ileana whether I would be there, but yeah.
I
All
don't
right.
have a good justification. It would just be weird.
And he leaves the door open and the light on and goes back upstairs
Neres wanted to talk to Ileana.
and gets his snack.
Yeah.
Point.
Yes.
So, Neres and Ileana.
Yep.
You are adept at using. I by the way, I'm suppressing right now. If that
Okay.
changes how Ileana
What?
feels. You are.
Oh. Here, when you do that,
I do it frequently.
I know. I hate it a lot. I hate it frequently, I mean. I hate it a lot and frequently. Sorry, what do you need?
You are adept at using the Force to find things out about the environment. Can you? I am not trained in using Seek, but can you?
I can. What are you looking for?
Can you tell if the Exarch is still alive? He's probably being. I do not know if there are probably ways to shield exactly where he is, or it might be a way to lure us into a trap. But I want to know if he is still alive. And I cannot tell myself. Or I can try, but I do not think that is wise.
Right. Hold on. I have to look through.
Seek is page 302.
Yep. Yeah, I can try. Stops, looks at you. Why?
I am concerned.
Why?
Several reasons.
Give me 2 and I'll do it.
He is the exarch of our order, which is currently shattered and scattered throughout the galaxy.
Okay. There's
Also, he is important to me.
See, that's not really what that's saying it in a real vague way.
Didn't ask for specifics.
Nope.
Yeah, but I'm the person who can find, so I can change the deal.
He has altered the deal. Play, she doesn't alter it any
Right.
further.
Important why?
He was my first teacher. He rescued me.
Just cause. What is it? What is it to what is Star Wars Insight, John?
Cool.
Cool.
Difficulty 2.
Shit.
Cool.
Opposed.
Actually, never mind. I will use. Is it?
Use what?
Yep. I've been engaged in conversation with somebody.
Okay.
I'm gonna activate sense to try to read surface thoughts.
Okay.
Sure.
See, see how this goes.
Okay.
Well, shit. How much do I? Good enough.
So you take 2 strain, generate 2 conflict.
Yep.
It's okay.
It works on you, Neres. So what are your surface thoughts?
Well, I have comment now, which reduces the force generated by 1. So you only get 1. And
Well, no, you're currently suppressing yourself.
So that's not
Sorry, you're
because
breaking
it's
up.
like
I
a
can't hear what the
passive
ability
thing.
is. What's the ability?
Okay. Calming aura. It's page 69.
Yep.
It's on the consular. Or
Let me take a look at it.
When an opponent targets character with a force power, reduce force generated by 1.
It is a force ability. It's a passive ability, but it's a force ability, and you're currently suppressing all your force powers.
Okay.
So it doesn't
Cool.
work. That doesn't work right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that would work if you
Yeah,
that
all of my
that
friends are at
that
69.
yeah, that would work if you weren't suppressing your force powers.
Got it. Oh, okay. Cool. Surface thoughts.
Yeah.
Yours is very it's a lot of panic. They have not lied about anything.
Okay.
It's pretty much that, and also not wanting to tell you more because this is he does not like you. You are scary. He doesn't want to give you more than that.
Sure, throw out catnip. Here's a long look. Fine. See what I can find. So I will focus in. I will use seek. believe I need 2 force points to be able to activate it.
Yeah. 2 force points to actually find somebody.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fine.
Would you like to flip the last light side point?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
How many of those are you using?
Just in case there's something that he's being hidden behind, I will use 4.
Okay. So, there is certainly some resistance. And you feel like if you weren't pushing as strongly as you are now, you wouldn't get anything.
Okay.
But you do get a sense that the Exarch is alive. You sense pain, both physical and spiritual. Like something is carving gashes in the Exarch's very presence in the Force. And it's doing it slowly, dragging the knife through the Exarch's presence within the Force.
Through his Force essence itself,
Yes.
not his body.
Both, but yes, the essence part more.
Is that a thing that I would know is even possible?
Make a lore check, difficulty 3.
Lower diff 3. Clear that out. Diff 3. Nope.
You don't know of any specific instances of this occurring, but you do know that a person's connection to the Force can be directly harmed.
Right.
Oftentimes this results in somebody being cut off from the Force. But theoretically there could be other applications for that.
Okay.
I mean, you know one instance of that happening.
Okay.
He's on your crew.
Corserath cut himself off from the Force,
right,
yeah.
right.
But that was Corserath doing that to himself. That wasn't somebody else doing it to him.
So there is a sudden emptying of whatever we had to eat for dinner.
All over Nere's.
Packed because I still haven't been able to stop by a fucking market.
There's this powderized gristle mixed with stomach acid.
All right, I'm legit gonna lose it. Powderized gristle. The only way you can make that worse, John, is if you said moist powderized gristle.
Well, it is moist because it's stomach acid and everything, but I figured that was implied.
Thank you. Yeah.
As I very demonstratively put my dinner somewhere else for a bit.
No, you can make that
Christ.
one step worse. Moist, powderized gristle jizz music.
Bye.
Hi, thanks for coming to the cantina. This is my jizz cover band, Moist Powderized Gristle. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
There you go. There you go. Proud of you.
I'm just trying to figure out what a protein, what like a solid bar of protein looks like. Anyways.
Yeah, fair.
So Liana threw up, and then
Yes.
what?
On to Nere's.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Yes.
This is not a thing I missed.
Yes.
About having a body. Yes.
Yes.
Is this a side effect that happens often? I point
No.
at. What does this mean?
Not,
Are you ill?
I don't know how to answer that. Alive, but not in good shape. And getting worse.
Right.
Deliberately.
He is making himself worse?
No. Well, I don't know. Probably not. I would assume not.
Definitely someone else was doing this to him.
Okay. No. Not himself. Also, it was really hard to push through and get to him. Because somebody's hiding pretty well.
Right. Thank you. Do I have
I
like a
walk out.
water bottle?
I mean, you can find ways to clean yourself off.
No, for Ilyana.
Oh,
She gets up and she just walks out.
Right. I'm in your room. I use the
Covered
sheet
in
to
her
clean
vomit.
myself off. Yeah, I use the sheet to clean myself off, and then I leave.
right. Smear.
And yet somehow Crack is the one that everyone has a problem with.
And I take it. I like put in our laundry basket, the group laundry basket, because we've never discussed how we do laundry. But yeah, I do not enjoy this. So
I like to think that the washer and dryer are the only low tech things on the ship. like everything else, you've got all the Star Wars high fantasies or high sci fantasy stuff, and then you've just got like a tumble dryer and a regular washing machine.
Yep.
I mean, shopped for washing machines recently. They really haven't come very far, except for now saying they're energy efficient.
Yeah. And they have fancy UI stuff.
You're right. It's even an old top loader.
Yeah.
Nuri's is gonna spend the rest of the trip in their room meditating and trying to not being suppressed that time, just sort of trying to deal with things.
Okay.
The way they do.
Jash will probably check in with Nerys periodically, but
hello.
Not like, yeah, yep. Basically, just all right.
Yes. If I am.
Let me know if you need anything.
So, anything else?
Avazia would like to have a brief conversation with Ilyana.
Okay.
Is this during Ilyana cleaning her mouth out, or is this after?
Oh, that's good. No, that's not just cleaning them out. That's going for a very long, like, shower thing.
It's probably after that.
Okay.
It's just like at some point during our journey.
Some point after Ilyana uses the refresher.
Okay.
Ilyana.
Huh? Yeah?
You need to go easier on Crack.
I'm trying to.
It's not working. He's very confused about the whole battle situation. And you may be stressing him out. I mean, I love to poke fun at Crack and punch him and all of that, but at the end of the day, we need him. I will admit that.
He's not the only mechanic, and
he's very good at what he does.
yes.
And what he does isn't all that pretty.
He's no good to us when he is a panicked mess, afraid that everything he does will piss you off, so he doesn't want to do anything, and then he ends up getting himself killed or someone else.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I guess I can. I was trying to be good this time.
Also, maybe you should have spoken to him yourself.
That was how I was trying to be good.
Because that seemed to make Korsrath tense.
Okay. Fair.
We know how Korsrath gets when he gets tense.
Vasya is
I will take that point under advisement.
That's all I ask.
Vasya is that one den mother that lets you get away with things, but will take away your keys.
And she will walk off.
And by take away your keys, I mean cut off a limb.
It's like, sure, you can smoke out back behind the lodge, but if you do anything that's actually going to get somebody hurt, we're gonna have problems.
All right. 3 days pass. Unless there's anything else anybody else needs to do. Okay. 3 days pass. The ship drops out of hyperspace. Immediately sort of startled by the presence of Republic cruisers, but Pantier up in the cockpit with near Red just very calmly directs away from them and around the other side of Terrace's star. Where ahead of you, the sensors and people that can see can tell that there is this large barge, a hyperspace barge, sort of waiting. Hyperspace barges are connecting vessels. They're these basically ships that can dock other ships, but not like inside them, like sort of connecting. For those that have seen the prequels or the Clone Wars series, it's kind of like a big version of the hyperspace rings that certain space fighters can use.
Yeah, they're basically like interlinking like dry docks for a bunch of ships to go
Yeah.
in hyperspace together.
Exactly, so that you don't have to be running fuel on all the ships. You can just be running that on the barge itself. There is one other ship already docked with the barge. This one looks less like a freighter like your guys's and more like a cruiser, or not a cruiser, like a personal yacht more than anything else. And so the ship, you dock into this ring that connects and clamps onto the ship and connects with the airlocks on either side of the ship. Pantier looks over at the ship. Looks like Lotver is the first one to arrive, so let's go greet the Archon. Have any of you ever met them?
Was Lotver the one that we met
No.
when we
I've
came back?
not.
No, you have not met Lotver.
Latver was the one that was on Coruscant, right?
Yeah.
Right, yes. No, we had one of our potential first missions was to go assist Lotver, but we went with Zilda first.
They're fairly calm and even-headed, so just don't be... He sort of looks at Korsrath and Avasia and Ilyana and Crack.
And the Chiss?
No,
Okay.
just looks at those four.
That's
Okay.
half the group.
And then doesn't say anything and just
Over.
walks towards the airlock.
Hello.
Good talk.
Wait, what?
I did not appreciate being associated in that look.
Then perhaps
You
it is
you were
a-
the guys that were in the back of the truck with him when he was in the truck with you? So
Yeah.
he just looked at all the people that were in the back of the truck except Jash.
Avazia just looks at Korsrath. Does he mean don't beat us?
No.
He didn't finish the thought, so you don't know necessarily.
I'm sure he would have finished his sentence if it was important.
Probably not.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going.
You follow Pantier off the ship. The barge, the interior of the barge is very industrial. It's not. This is not a thing that is designed for like comfort in long travels. It's very much purpose built. This is a place where crews can rest and coordinate and communicate while the barge is in transit. In the middle of the sort of open meeting space that you all, it's kind of like an interstellar parking deck. Actually, would be the best way to describe this as far as aesthetics go. As you exit into the common area, you see ahead of you one individual wearing a long black trench coat that has a collar popped up about halfway up, a helmeted face, with very clearly like the trench coat is sort of built into some hard sealed suit, armored gauntlets, and no visible weaponry. Though you imagine any weaponry is probably hidden beneath the coat. Speaking with a Rhodian and a couple of other alien species that look to be dressed like sort of work crew outfit. As this figure sees you all approach, he turns to the Rhodian, says something in Huttese that is far too far away for any of you to make out precisely, and they turn and sort of head off towards what appears to be some sort of maintenance area or possibly the cockpit of this thing. None of you are really familiar with how this sort of vessel would work. The helmeted individual turns and walks towards the group. Hello, Pantier. I imagine these are the young Twilight Knights that came to you on Alderaan. Yep. The rest of you, this is Archon Latvir, this is Krak Tulpa, Red, Jash Ulan, Neres, Avasia, Korsrath, and Ilyana.
Archon.
Lot nods, then looks, sort of scans the group of you really quickly, and then looks back towards Pantier. We're going to be jumping over to the Null sector aboard the barge. We'll meet up with the rest so that we're not all of us jumping into the same sector at the same time. So that shouldn't be more than... It's just a single skip over, so it shouldn't be more than a few hours. Good. Looks at the rest of you. Make yourselves comfortable. So as we gather all the rest of the Archons, we're going to be making plans. Latvir looks at the group of you for a second.
Is there anything useful we could be doing instead of just sitting around?
It's raining.
There is always training.
Oh, okay. Out of character, I thought he said it's raining, and I was trying to.
I'm not gonna lie.
Heard it too.
That's what I heard.
I was trying to decipher that force wisdom.
I was very confused.
Training is what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely training.
All right. Neres and Krak, you're with me.
Okay.
Right.
You all feel the shudder of this barge picking up speed, and then the pulse of it hitting hyperspace. Sorry about having you guys travel and then wait and travel some more. Safety protocols, you know. This is Latvir talking. Pantier has walked off.
It's a single jump, yeah? Shouldn't be too long.
No, just a few hours. So, any of you have any relevant information that we might want to know?
How much did Pantier relay?
Emergency, Exarch, ship destroyed, Exarch captured, potentially 2 other Archons captured, or dead. Convene, talk about what we want to do.
Darth Fluxati laid a battle between the Republic and a Mandalorian Mandalorian battle fleet as bait to draw out the Aeon Cutter as the Horizon relief effort in order to draw them to one location so that a battle fleet could assault the ship.
And then
Red will hand over on data pad or whatever writing tool, just like a written up, formalized version of the report we've given a few times now.
yeah. He takes it. Yeah, and then Fluxati assaulted the ship, captured the Exarch, captured the Archons, right? Anything new that's come up since then?
Me as a player is trying to think.
As a player, I know that Ilyana knows something new. I don't know if that would be shared at this
And it doesn't seem like he knows that you guys know anything. Just for clarification, it seems like he knows something he's about to share, but he wants to see if you guys know it yet already.
That is the latest information that we got.
I think the only other relevant stuff we would know is that obviously Black Pyramid is out there doing work to gain intel. And then, of course, everything that Ilyana.
Which, yeah, either that name is recognizable or not. So, yeah, I guess Chorus Wrath would
Right.
be... Yeah, a cell of Black Pyramid is currently working towards locating Darth Fluxati. And
he nods in response to that and doesn't ask any further questions, which tells you that he knows who Black Pyramid is.
Yeah.
Or he knows of them. Cool. So, some galactic information that you guys may have missed out while you were away. The ceasefire is no longer in effect. It seems that whatever your Darth Fluxati was doing among the Dark Council was enough to secure them of the fact that they can win this war, and they've started it back up again. Well, a variety of things happening across the galaxy sort of broke down the peace efforts, a little bit on the Republic side, a lot on the Sith side. So the galaxy's at war again.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah. Which means that it's going to be a little bit harder than it would have been otherwise to recover the Exarch. Hopefully we can figure out
How long ago was the ceasefire? Did I know there was a ceasefire?
Yeah, no, you've known there was a ceasefire.
Okay.
It's been several years.
No, that's why I was asking,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Red has been out of the loop for several years.
It would have, if I'm remembering your backstory correctly, the ceasefire would have happened just before you got captured.
Okay. I'm surprised it lasted that long.
People are about half and half on that, galaxy-wide. Surprised it lasted that long. Surprised it didn't last longer. But,
We had learned that Darth Fluxati was making fighters from the dead. I feel like that was that was.
yeah, you learned
I
that.
knew any more details about that.
You learned that he was reviving dead Republic,
Yeah.
dead Jedi and the like, and sending them at the Republic.
Dead Jedi and sending them to harass the Republic.
That would explain the incident on Coruscant that happened a little while ago. Okay, that's good information. Thank you. We're trying to figure out what was going on when seemingly KIA Jedi Masters were suddenly finding themselves back on Coruscant, attacking their allies. Oh, good to know that that's connected. But yeah, the big relevant point is that it's going to be harder to find Fluxati now that the war is back on, because Sith space isn't going to be exactly welcoming anymore.
Is he probably with the direction that the Exarch is?
Probably.
I mean, let me rephrase that. He probably is.
Probably, yeah. You managed to break through.
Uh-huh.
He gives you a golf clap. I'm impressed. Well, that'll
She's
be
very
useful.
good.
I can see that. That'll be useful once we drop out and reconnect with the others.
They're doing fairly bad things.
I mean, they're Sith. That's sort of modus operandi. No offense, he says, just
Just-
throwing that over towards Corsairath and Ross. Yeah.
I'm just
Corsairath
saying.
shrugs.
None taken.
Well, good to know. Give us a little bit of impetus. If you need food, we've got he sort of thumbs over towards where his ship is docked, and you can sort of see it connected into the barge. I've raided some of the finest restaurants on Coruscant before I left, so I know a lot of the knights like to survive on ration packs, and I don't like the taste. So if you need some good food, feel free to go over at the kitchen.
Some of the crew has decidedly voiced that they are getting tired of ration packs, so I think that would be appreciated.
Thank you. You are the first person in this order that I unequivocally appreciate.
Well, lots of my fellow Twilight Knights like to, put their work before their pleasure, and I don't see why the two have to be separate. Anyways, get some food, get some rest, train, make sure you're sharp. As soon as we drop out, we'll be picking up the others and making a plan. And if you have an idea of direction, we'll be setting coordinates.
I mean, general. You know how it works.
Yeah. But better than nothing.
I'll work with you on that general direction with the Sith planets that I know of, but
Well,
if I had to take a wild guess based on random directions and likely locations to find the Sith Lord, Droman Koss is already high on the list.
possibly, but we'll get the two of you working with Hadafeni. She'll be able to bolster your senses and get a cleaner beacon on where we're going. Well, nice chat. Good to meet new members of the Order all the time. Hope you're having fun. I'm a dip, and he just turns and walks away.
I'm going to take that as being dismissed and go to the food that fancy restaurants from my home world. Not only is it fancy food, but it's comfort food, and it's real food. I'm very excited. This is probably the most enthusiastic any of you have seen read about anything.
Brilliant.
So you
Hey, there's an addiction that's probably less lethal than death sticks.
you get
I
Cody,
think
that
want
makes sense.
that isn't ration packs as an addiction. I think that's a reasonable state of being.
you get
No, it's odd.
you get on board the yacht, and there is a protocol droid waiting for people to come on, who directs you to the kitchen, or directs you to the dining hall on the yacht, where there is just the most luxurious looking spread. It's basically been set up like buffet style, but filled with just all manner of dishes from literally hundreds of restaurants on Coruscant. If there is something that you are craving, you can find it, from fine dining to burger place and pizza. As
Yeah,
Red
just grabbing some food.
disappears into a food tornado.
It is more careful than that, because he has a practical understanding that I've been surviving on ration packs and then basically nothing before that. If I just eat all that I want to eat, I will feel awful. But yeah.
Few hours pass. I'm assuming nothing new needs to be brought up right now. And you all feel the barge dropping out of hyperspace. Anybody that takes a look outside, there are numerous viewports all around the barge. Anyone that looks outside sees that you're now in a binary star system that has very few planets. One in particular that is this little sort of green marble floating around the binary star system. And sort of in the shadow of that planet, several ships, one of which you recognize as being the one that Zelda had taken off in, sort of coast towards the barge. They connect, and you are shortly greeted once again by the vision of Zilda, Hatafeni, who I will remind you is a tall Achani woman, so white hair, blue eyes, pale skin. That looks very much like a lot of other Achani have very limited diversity in builds and facial structures. Like you can typically tell an Achani apart, but it's very easy to mix Achani up, especially if you only see a few in your lifetime, because they're not a very populous species. But has that classic Achani female face. And a third person who none of you have ever met. This person walks on wearing what at first glance just looks like Jedi robes. Sort of, the brown and beige, the sort of the loosely fitting brown and beige, with a hood over the top, but also has a fur cloak attached to the back of it that hangs down, which is distinctly not Jedi outfit. And a sort of a large face mask and a pair of glowing eyes, as you recognize this person is a Kaldorian. Which, for people who aren't familiar with Kaldorians, they are a group of space resilient. They are a space resilient sentient species. They can survive in the vacuum for a certain period of time. And also from the movies, they're the people that have no face from the nose down, and instead just have a mask that sort of seems to be attached into their jaw.
Because they're not good in oxygen environments.
No.
Yeah. Wait. I don't think that do they end with Ian? I thought it's just Keldor.
No, they're
they are just Keldor.
Keldor, or they are occasionally referred to as Keldorian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keldorian is the adjective. Yeah.
Because I know that race, the way that you described it, I thought that started with a C, not a K. So it completely threw my mind off. And then for some reason, I started thinking of Guldu Khan, who is a Cardassian.
Right.
I understand there's a difference between Star Wars and Star Trek viewers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can refer to
Plo Koon is a Keldor.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You can refer to Keldorians as Keldors or Keldorians. Both are appropriate.
Yeah.
Most sentient species refer to them as Keldorians just because it fits the naming scheme of other sentient species.
It's sort of like how Zabraks will get called Iridonians, whether or not they're from Iridonia.
Yeah.
Which is not because there are interesting cultural differences of what they call people, and simply because George Lucas was really shitty with remembering what he named things.
Yep.
There's also that.
But you from context clues, you can assume this is Teokra. Well, you must be the young knights that brought us our information, Teokra says.
Nod.
Indeed.
Good work, particularly getting away from the fight in the first place. I know for many it's tempting to rush headlong into the battle, but you did good work.
Well, we weren't exactly going to commit any significant difference in force by staying.
That might be true. Might not be true. Never underestimate the power of a motivated individual. Still, let's gather together. As he follows after where Hatafeni and Zilda have already gone. Zilda, you noticed when he came off, has a few more shattered Imperial and Republic helmets hanging off of his belt. than he had previously, which was to say none.
Mhm.
It's just like a small bandolier at his hip with 4 different helmets just sort of hanging off of them in various states of disrepair. You all gather up into a separate room on the barge. And in the room, you now have you all, as well as Hatafeni, Teokra, Zilda, and Pantir and Latvir. Latvir leads the discussion. So, with the war on, it's going to be a little bit harder to get our Exarch out. But Ilyana seems to have a bit of an idea as to where they might be, and combined with Corserath and you, Hatafeni, he says, pointing over at the Achani, hopefully the 3 of you working in tandem could give us a more specific location. Hata looks over at you, Ilyana. How did you find the Exarch?
I looked.
Was there resistance?
Uh-huh.
Did you have a clear vision, or was it muddled?
Not real clear.
Did it?
Lots of grossness.
You felt the pain that he was feeling.
Felt yes.
Very likely, then, that they are at a divergence or a nexus within the Force. Something that was both shielding their presence and then, once you made contact, amplified the effects you were feeling. Which means there are very few places it would be.
It wasn't physical, by the way. Not just physical.
Corserath, do you know of very many divergences within the Sith Empire?
How many do I know aside from obviously Droman Koss?
Make a lore check. Difficulty 1.
We have no light side for me to flip here.
Nope.
And Jash make that as well, given
I got a cool
his origin.
Sure.
What's his difficulty?
2.
2. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So Corserath, there are a few that come to mind. Of the Droman Koss is obviously one, because Droman Koss is a nexus of dark side. There's also Korriban, which is the other big one that you think of. But aside from those, the one that you think of the most is Zeost.
Okay.
Zeost, prior to Droman Koss being the capital of the Empire, Zeost was the capital of the Empire. And it's often referred to as...
Right, that was when Agenta Paul was in charge of the Sith. He was on Zeost.
And
right,
it has previously been referred to as the gateway to the Empire. It is a place steeped in the dark side of the Force. And it's one of the 2 ways into the Stygian caldera. Typically, you come in through Korriban, but there are, you don't know them, but there are secret hyperspace lanes that connect to Athos, which then takes you to Zeost, and then you can go around the central Sith space. So those are, so Droman Koss, Zeost, and Korriban are the 3 big ones that you think of. Jash, similarly, you get those 3?
Okay.
The 3 most prominent worlds that stand out in my memory and experience would be obviously the capital world of Droman Koss, the Sith Mausoleum and training world of Korriban, and the previous capital world from the age of a jump to Paul of Zeost.
Yeah, Zeost is a barren wasteland from what little I remember, is it not?
Still a place steeped in dark energies.
Oh, I don't mean that as a criticism. I mean, it's unlikely that people would
Anyone
go
else would,
looking
yes.
there.
It is unlikely that others would find anything, would think to look there. Though Korriban and Droman Kos are also well protected and defended bastions among the Empire.
But what we've learned of Darth Fluxetti seems
He
to
doesn't-
indicate that he keeps his own counsel and would brook little interference even from other members of the Dark Council, correct?
He does not seem to play well with others, no, so Zeost might be higher on the list.
Well then, let's start there and see if we can't determine what the nature of that planet might be at the moment.
We can find the hyperspace lane to Aethys that can lead us to Zeost.
Well, first the two of you join me in a meditation. And she leads the two of you over, slightly away from the rest of the group, produces a large silver bowl, and she places it on the floor and sits down next to you. Please, sit with me.
Sit.
And I want both of you to roll your force die.
Yay, my one force die. Wouldn't it be nice if I had light side points, or if I, had those 5 morality points? The other one, Ilyana or Jash?
Ilyana.
Oh, sorry.
No
You
worries.
were not clear because you were having a conversation with 2 particular people, and you said, "You two come with me."
Sorry, Ilyana was the other one.
Do. Ignore the rest of it, obviously.
Hmm.
That's 2.
And okay. So the two of you focus. Corserath, you're a little
Show
bit,
off!
You're a little bit less. You're a little bit less into it at the moment. Ilyana, you snap right into the power, and you feel your perspective being drawn into this bowl.
Honestly, worth mentioning, a little hesitantly for the first time.
And you feel this swell of both the light and the dark coming off of Hatafeni. This pulse of power that is at the same time harsh and yielding, that wraps the two of your consciousnesses up into itself and pours you into the bowl. And as your perspective expands beyond yourself and beyond the ship and beyond the stars around you, you feel your vision widening as you look down at the galaxy as a whole. That's where we're going to end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.